Hello everyone, following Sunday's snowflake video that I did with pegs, just ordinary pegs, I said I'd be back with some more ideas. So this time I've just got 3 of the pegs that I've glued together. For those of you that didn't see the video, I'll show you how to do that in a second. And I've also got a couple of dolly pegs as well. So these started off life like this, and all you do is twist them to remove the metal bits and then just prise that off. It comes off relatively easily, and then just glue the 2 flat sides together. Now, as I said on Sunday's video, you don't need very much. Apply it to the center of the peg like this, just to the center, not too much because otherwise it all oozes out all over the place, and then just glue the 2 flat sides together. Make sure that you've got the top and the bottom aligned so that they're not skew-if. I'm just using regular tacky glue here. This is Tonic Studios. Make sure that you've got none oozed out, and then just set that aside for 5 or 10 minutes for the glue to dry. Now I'm going to paint mine. I'm going to use some titanium white acrylic paint. So just squeeze a small amount out. I'm just going to use my stamping block here. And I've also got one of the makeup sponges that you get from the pound shop. This is exactly the same way that I prepped the snowflakes that I did last week. In fact, what I did last week on Sunday was just to tap the paint on the ends. You only need 1 coat of paint. It's not perfect coverage, but I just think it gives a really nice sort of whitewashed effect, and it's really quick and easy. Do the other side as well. Here we go, like this, and then tap into those crevices like this. And of course, because the sponges, the makeup sponges from Pound Shop, are in a triangle shape, it just makes it really easy to get into those little crevices. So make sure you've got an even coverage. Do the bottoms like this, and then you just need to set that aside on a piece of parchment paper to dry. I'll go over this again just to make sure that that is all nice and neat. Come back here like this. Of course, it's now sticky. So just tap it on again, just to make sure that you know, I've got a nice coverage. And then, as I've said, I'll stick this on a piece of parchment paper now to dry. And I'll do exactly the same with these and this one here. Exactly the same for this one. I would do the rounded bit for the head. To start off with, I'm going to make some snowmen, if you haven't guessed by the thumbnail. And then just work my way down the rest of the peg. Now, these dolly pegs have taken a couple of coats of paint, and I've just popped them on a piece of a grey board here, and I've just lent it up against a paint bottle like that to dry. Now, with these ones here, you can see the wood inside, and that bothers me. If it doesn't bother you, then that's absolutely great. So all I'm doing is taking a flat head small paintbrush like this, and I'm just going along all the edges. You won't get all the way in, but you can get in far enough just to disguise those edges. So do those 2 edges first, like that, then flip it over. Of course, you've got the other side to do. In fact, you'll have to hold it that way round. Here we go. I've just got far too much paint on that one there, and there's another side that I'm missing. Here we go. So we'll just get inside that one there like that. So I'm going to do the same with the other one that I've got left as well, and that is good enough for me. You can try and get into the top there if you want to. There we go. Good job. Okay, so let's try and make our snowmen look like snowmen. I've torn off some strips of material here, which I thought was quite festive. You could use ribbon if you don't have material like this. I've had this in my stash for donkey's years. It was from a shop called the New England Shop in Worcester, and I don't think it's even there anymore, not under that name anyway. But aren't these just gorgeous? I've made various decorations over the years with these, and what I thought I could do is tie these around my snowmen like a scarf. So let's have a look. So that one can go there like that. Some of these might need trimming. It's better to have them too long and be able to trim them down. So there we go. So I'm going to tie these on like this, and with these smaller little pegs here, I'm just going to bunch it up and tie it on around that little crevice there. So this is a little bit fiddly, but and again, I can just twist that round because I'm going to put his features on this side here like that. I think actually that those are about the right length. I think that looks really cute. Then what I have done is pulled out a pile of buttons from my stash. Now, for the dolly pegs, you want something, a button with a bit of a dome. I don't know whether you can see that this one's got a crevice here. In fact, actually, that goes quite well with the green. So I've got 2 buttons here that I can stack, one on top of the other, just to create a little hat. So I think I'm going to have that one on there like that. What colour? Let's have a black one. In fact, this is sort of like a lovely bluey green. No, it needs to be a flat one on this one here, so that it will fit onto that flat top. That one will work. So I could have the grey combination on that one there. That works quite well. So let's do that. Before you start gluing your buttons together, you need to make yourself a hanging mechanism so that you can actually hang your decoration on the tree. I'm using some of this bookbinding twine here. This is just waxed cord. I think this is this 1mm? It does say somewhere, or at least I thought it did. I'm sure. Oh, 0.5mm. There we go. This stuff is really strong. So I'm going to thread that through on the domed side. This is a 4-hole button, so I'm going to do it at diagonals. There we go, like that. Tie that in a knot. And then, of course, I will be able to hang my decoration on the tree, and then I can stack my buttons together. So I'm going to glue this one on first. So bring back my glue. You do not need much glue. Try not to be too heavy-handed with this, and I'm just going to stick that on there like that. And I think what I'll do is I'll glue the tops on all of these, and then I will glue them actually onto the pegs themselves. Now my buttons have been drying overnight, just because the E6000 takes a long time to set, but once it's glued, it's, you know, well and truly stuck. This is the first time I've used the E6000 Plus, which I do believe is their glue with no odour. I think this is a lot more safer and eco-friendly than the previous type of glue. It seems to glue just as well. I actually prefer the tube of this one here as well. But what I want to do before I glue my buttons on is just give my snowmen some facial features and buttons. I'm just going to be using some all-purpose black paint for this. I did have a practice with the Arteza fabric paint because I thought I'd quite like to have some dimensional dots, but it's too unreliable, so I've decided to give that one a miss. So I'm going to use my black paint, which I've poured into the lid here, and I've got a couple of mark making tools. I'm just going to do some really simple dots, and let's just hope that I don't screw this up. So let's try it with this one here. So we'll give him a couple of eyes. Let's try and get these straight. There we go. That's not too bad. Let's make that one just a little bit bigger. And then I want some, let me just grab a tissue. Bear with me. Hold on. Let's just grab a piece of kitchen towel, wipe that off, and then I want to give him some buttons as well. So I'm using a slightly larger tool. I'm not even sure what this is off, but I quite like the size of this, and it's great for dot painting. So this is slightly larger than the one that I've used for the eyes, marginally, but there we go. Try and get them straight, Nina. This is so hard to do when I'm having to have it by the camera. There we go. That one's a bit wonky, but that will do. That will do fine. Let's try and even those out a little bit more. And then I want to give him a carrot nose as well. So I've got some orange paint here. Let me just give this a good shake. And again, hopefully I can just pour a little bit into the lid like that. And what do I want to paint this on with? I'm going to use the smaller end here and just do that. So let's just move his scarf down a little bit, and we'll, there we go, that's perfect. How cute is that? So I'm going to do this to all of them, and then we can apply the hats. The paint's all dry, so I'm ready to glue my little button hats on, and I'm going to do this by using a tiny amount of the E6000. So let's do this one first. In fact, I'll do this one first. So I just want a small amount of the E6000, perhaps a little bit more than that actually. And I'm also going to use my glue gun as well, because I found just by adding the E6000 alone, it doesn't dry quick enough for it to stick without the hat sliding around all over the place. Now you only want a small amount of glue, because otherwise it just comes oozing out all over the place. So a small amount of glue, and this will allow it to stick instantly, or more or less instantly. And isn't that cute? I could probably have done with slightly less, but that's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to do exactly the same with all of these, and then I'll show you what they look like at the end. So the hats are now stuck onto my clothes pegs, and I just think they look adorable. Now this is going to need to cure overnight for the glue to set properly, but you know, it's stuck enough for me to handle them. I just think they're absolutely lovely. Now let me give you some alternatives. If you don't have any fabric that you could use for scarves, then you could use ribbon. If you don't have buttons, then you could always, you know, skip the hats and just using an awl, make a hole in the top of the peg like this, and just put one of these picture framing hooks in there so that you can hang some ribbon or what have you to hang them on the tree. You would do exactly the same with the bobby peg as well. Just use your awl very, very carefully so that you don't stab yourself, just to make a hole, taking it slowly so that it doesn't slip, and then you just screw that in. So, you know, just a couple of alternatives for you, but I just think these will look adorable on my tree. I have a really small artificial tree that comes out every year that I put in my hallway, and I always hang small homemade decorations, just red and white, no other colours, just red and white, and it just looks so beautiful. I'm waiting for Steve to get my decorations out of the cupboard in the garage for me, so as soon as I've decorated my tree, I'll share some pictures on Facebook or in my next video, perhaps if it's out by then. I had a spider fright last year. I went to get the decorations out of the cupboard in the garage, and a massive spider crawled all over me, and it completely freaked me out. I will never ever go and get them myself ever again. I hate spiders. Now I just want to show you how I dried the buttons on these, because it's really important that you keep them upright. So I had these on a piece of grey board like this. And these ones I just put in this short cardboard little lid here like this. So that kept them upright until they were dry enough for me to handle. And then I just propped that one up against that like that. And that's how I dried them. But I just think these are just so sweet. I can't wait to hang these on the tree. Now, I just want to show you before I go. This is the grey snowflake that I made on Sunday. And I wasn't very happy with it, because I just felt that the dark blue, the navy blue snowflake that I had as a decoration on it just was too dark, and it just didn't work. So I took it off, and I used the same doilies that I used on this natural one here, and I just love that. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So that one there is transformed. And for anybody who hasn't seen this peg video, because all I've done is just put 8 of the pegs like this together, I just think those look gorgeous. And you know, these can either hang on a large tree or on a window handle. I think these would look lovely hanging from a window. But I'll leave the link to this video in the description box below as well for anybody who's interested and hasn't seen it. But just a few ideas for using pegs, which you know, a majority of us have got readily available in our homes. I just think those are so cute. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video, and that this has given you some more ideas for using pegs to make gorgeous, sweet little homemade decorations. I just think there's nothing nicer than seeing homemade decorations on a Christmas tree. It's what it's all about for me anyway. But if you've enjoyed today's video, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.